compressed air goes to work again, this time in a California beet field. There's no more muscle work thinning and hoeing beets on the King Ranch at Woodland. And pull a trigger when they want action. The blade moves in and out like the head of an air hammer. The whole blade hits a big weed, the operator lays on the trigger, the weed gives way. Everyone should have one of these convenient little gadgets for hoeing the garden. That is, if your garden is big enough. Yes, sir, the tomato worms and bugs of all kinds take off down the row at top speed when they see this monster coming. Who wouldn't? Paul Dickman fed his tractor vitamin B pills to build it up, and this is what he got. It's kind of like riding an elephant in the circus parade, but there's no dust way up there, partner. There is a reason for building an outfit like this. You get your spraying equipment above the tomatoes and above the stakes. Their ability to rebuild standard farm machines and adapt them to meet unusual conditions is a real tribute to the ingenuity of American farmers. Yes, these are the Golden Girls. Where are they bound for? A school picnic? A swimming party? Or are they just out for a ride on a newfangled version of the flying trapeze? No, they're the gals who detassel the corn on the hybrid seed corn farms of Mr. Claire Golden near Cordova and Erie, Illinois. Here's a crow's eye view of the gals at work. They're pulling the tassels from the 6 rows that will produce the hybrid seed. They're finding few tassels since this is the 3rd time over the field. In case you are not familiar with the production of hybrid seed, the pairs of rows that are not detasseled are the male strain, the pollen from which falls on the silks of the detasseled plants and affects the cross with the female strain. Both strains, of course, have been previously developed by inbreeding. Detasseling is tiring work, but it can be a lot of fun and profitable too. All you need is a sharp eye and a quick hand. But most important is the sharp eye, for every tassel must be pulled. The growing of hybrid seed corn has become an important branch of the farming industry in recent years. The development of labor-saving devices, such as this, has helped its progress tremendously. Maybe you've dreamed of a plow like this. So did the Post Brothers of Santa Ana, but they did something about it. They built it. Watch this monster nose into the soil and settle down to its work, plowing nearly 6 feet deep. It takes power to break and turn hard soil like this. And Post Brothers get the power from 4 huge cats that snake their plow through any condition. Watch the ground tremble as this huge assemblage of power goes by. Why plow 6 feet deep? Well, they really aren't plowing, they're reclaiming land that has been covered by a deep layer of sand, either through water or wind action. Notice there's a blade just ahead of the plow bottom that rolls the sand into the bottom of the furrow where it's buried for all time. Old Mother Earth really gets a facelifting when Post Brothers go to work on her. Maybe you'd like another look at the plow itself. All right, boys, back that plow up here by the camera. Lift it out of the ground. And there it is again, folks, the world's largest plow. This is not a combine, folks. It's a hop picker that removes from the vines the pods which contain the hop berries. It's a real labor saver compared with the hand-picking method. The men on top of the outfit cut the strings up which the vines have grown and drop the vines onto the feeder platform. The vines are fed evenly onto the conveyor by the two women helpers. The conveyor drags the vines through a series of small fingers which strip the pods from the vines. Just in case you don't know, hops are used in the making of medicines, yeast, malt extracts, and many other products, in addition to their use as a flavoring element in certain beverages. The man walking ahead cuts the vines near the ground. Hop plants are perennials and produce abundantly for as long as 50 years without replanting. This particular field was planted in 1934. Odds bodkins, what sort of contraption could this be a-coming down the stretch? Does this fellow just enjoy working backwards, or does he have a reason for mowing in reverse? The answer is yes. You see, he's mowing canning peas for a Minnesota canning company near Rochester. With the mower out ahead, he never runs over a windrow of the succulent green peas. With a regular mower drawn behind, he'd have a hard time missing the windrows, especially on the turns. He doesn't have to zigzag like that, of course. He's simply demonstrating how easily and quickly he can steer the outfit. The operator sits up front, or behind if you wish, steers with one hand and controls the cutting height with the other. Call it backward farming if you like, but it does the trick for growers of canning peas and similar crops. Hey, what's this? More backward farming? Sure enough, there's a buck rake attached to the rear of the tractor, or the front if you wish. The operator's pushing a load onto the stacker at Snider Brothers Ranch. The Sniders find this rear mounting of the rake to be more satisfactory than front mounting under their conditions. Up goes the load, up, 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 and over. Hey, what goes on? Operator, don't reverse that film. The hay stays on the stack. Oh, well. Snider Brothers have a slick way of hauling hay, too. They pull up beside a stack with what Nebraskans call an underslung. They string a cable around a whole stack of hay, fasten one end to the underslung, the other end to the tractor drawbar, and skid the whole stack onto the platform. Simple, isn't it? No pitching, no grunting. Your tractor does the work. All you do is figure out how to save work on the next job you have to do. Just to prove that tractors haven't taken over all the harvesting jobs, we took these pictures on the John Long farm in the Big Bend country. However, this is one of the last, if not the last, horse-drawn combine in the nation. It takes 14 horses to snake this engine-driven outfit over the hills. Not so many years ago, this was a common sight. And less than 50 years ago, the horse furnished all the power for all farm operations. Today, tractor power has almost completely taken over these heavy jobs that once tested the muscle of both men and work animals. Greater production per man, increased yields, and better, easier living are the net results. It's not all tough going for the horses. On the downgrade, the operator has to apply the brakes. Think you could handle 14 horses as expertly as this operator? Maybe so, but how would you like to unhitch and unharness them after a long day in the field? Feed them, curry them, and harness them again in the morning. You can have them, brother. Someday, this hillside in Ohio will be covered with a soil-saving growth of pine trees. With a special plow, beds have been thrown up on the contour, preparatory to planting pine trees with this special transplanter used by the soil conservation men. It works much like a regular transplanter. The operator places the young trees in the furrows and rollers firm the soil around the roots. Young trees are off to a good start when planted in this manner. Designed for working on hillsides, the transplanter can be leveled for good work on almost any slope. Here is the heavy furrow opener that makes the trench into which the trees are placed. Sparkling lakes surrounded by trees are a favorite playground for millions of Americans. To develop and preserve these areas for generations to come is one of the important objectives of more than 2,000 soil conservation districts. Thrifty trees reaching into the sky are symbols of their success.